Except Gita. They have no problem with Gita because they consider that it is very transcendental. But the way they interpret may be different, but at least they accept Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Vedanta Sutra. These three things they accept. Prasthanatraya. So, in fact, Shankaracharya, Adi Shankara, when you say Shankara, because nowadays also they call Shankaracharya, Adi Shankara. He makes a comparison that all the Upanishads, because Upanishads they accept also. No, Upanishads he compares to a cow. Sarva Upanishato Gavo. Sarva Upanishad, Gai. Makes a comparison. Dogda Gopala Nandana. Gopala Nandana, that is Krishna, is the covered man. Anyway, he is a trained covered man. So, Gopala Nandana, that is the covered man. Partho Vatsaha. Partha is Arjuna, and he is compared to the calf. So, and this Gita is considered to be actually the milk. The essence of cow, the best product of cow is the milk. For many times, cow is protected for milk only. Actually, milk nahi hai chod do rasta. So, Gita Amritam is the milk. So, the milk is first meant for the calf, and the calf is Arjuna. So Arjuna gets the milk first. Krishna gives as a covered man. He gives the milk, and once Arjuna has taken, for everybody else also some milk will be available. Because cow produces more milk than calf can take. So it is for everyone. And Adi Shankara says, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. If there is only one scripture, let that scripture be Devaki Putra Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Eko Deva Devaki Putra Yava. If there is one worshipable personality, Devaki Putra. That is again Krishna. Eko Mantrastasya Namani Yani. If there is one mantra, it is mantra of Krishna. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Karmapi ekam tasya devasya seva. Devasya seva. In fact, he is telling devasya seva. I don't know what he means by it, but at least devotional service. For him, what seva he would intend to his followers to do, that apart. One seva, if it is to be done, that is devotional service. In fact, Shankaracharya is concluding like this. So in this way, Bhagavad Gita is considered topmost Vedic scripture because it is directly spoken by Krishna himself. When Krishna is speaking, Vedesha Sarve Rahameva Ved, the entire body of Vedas is to know me, Krishna says. And that person comes and speaks, he will give the essential portion of it, So what he cannot find out from going through so many literature, Krishna directly gives. So that's the reason, even though Bhagavad Gita is a philosophical treatise, it is kept in between Mahabharata. It's like history, great history, but within that, great philosophy is also kept. So those who are reading Mahabharata, they are interested. Because if you tell to read philosophy, many people may not be interested. Arey bhai, philosophy mera sir mein kahan gaya? So story padhte padhte, aaya, Dhritarashtra bola, ye bola, theek hai, kya bola? Chalo bhai. It's part of the story, Arjuna, Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya, Krishna, everybody is talking. So, in this way, today is a very auspicious day, and what we will do is, we will, in fact, we can recite the entire Bhagavad Gita also. If not entire, one chapter can be read. So today we will recite chapter number 8. So you can find out how to get to chapter number 8. Before that, we will have some, there are, in Padma Purana, there is a conversation between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. And Lord Shiva explains about glories of various chapters. So, Lord Shiva was describing about the glory of chapter 8. Attaining the Supreme. Attaining the Supreme. How to attain the Supreme. So, by means of the stories explaining that there used to be one Brahmana called Bhava Sharma. And he was living in Amartkapur in South India. A lot of things happen in South India. So he, even though he was a Brahmana, like Ajamil, he got married to a prostitute. And he broke all the regulated principles of eating meat, drinking wine, stealing. I think he's a Ajamila version 2, more or less. But he didn't have a child named Narayan. That's a different thing. So this fellow went to a party. He ate so much and drank so much. He became sick. Sometimes you overeat, means what the body can digest, you have to have some idea. So if you don't have the idea, then you overeat, then become sick. So he became sick. He had a chronic dysentery, and he died. There was no hospital to be admitted, and he was not saved. He died. And then because of all this sinful activity, he became a palm tree. Date palm. Palm tree में अलग अलग होता है. Coconut भी palm है. Dates का palm tree. He became a dates palm tree. So for a Brahmana to become a tree means it's degradation. Even ordinary human being becoming tree itself is a degradation. What to speak of Brahmana is supposed to go up actually. He's just one step away from achieving perfection. उधर तक जाके अभी झाड़ बन गई. Tree. He became tree. And you once become a tree, you just stand there. You don't have any options. Cold will come, and Gopal gives example. Sometimes when it is cold, tree has to tolerate it. And when it is hot, still he has to tolerate and give shade to others. Somebody will come under you, you are all good and I am suffering, you can't say. So he became a tree. And to the tree, two Brahma Rakshasa came, ghost. A Brahmana becoming a ghost is Brahma Rakshasa. And they are husband and wife. And Lord Shiva tells, who are these people? Why they became ghosts? And the Brahmana's name was Kushibal, and the wife's name was Kumati. And they were evil-minded. Brahmanas are supposed to be very detached and interested more in spiritual pursuit and study scriptures, practice the spiritual teachings, and teach others. These are all Brahmanas' expected qualities, but and Brahmana is also allowed to collect charity. Brahmana is allowed to collect charity because he engages in service. One who is engaged in service of Krishna is allowed. Huh? Because what happens? The charity given should be engaged in service of Krishna. A Brahmana by nature, when he collects, he brings, suppose he gets rice, he gets this and all, he brings home. And after cooking, first he offers to Brahmana means he has to have a Shaligram Shila. Shaligram Shila. Even a Mayavadi may keep Shaligram Shila also. Because he thinks that supreme absolute truth is in the form of the Shila like that. Okay. We think, no, Vishnu has taken that form. वो बोलेगा ब्राह्मण आया, ब्राह्मण करके बोलेगा शालिग्राम शिला तो शालिग्राम शिला, वर्शिप करेगा तो वर्शिप करेगा. So Brahmanas generally have Shaligram Shilas. So they actually, first thing is offered. They don't eat just cook and eat. Offer to Krishna. So because the charity that is accepted from somebody, when it is offered to Krishna, then actually what you are doing, you are engaging them in service of Krishna. If you don't offer and eat, then you have to take the sin of that person. Huh? वो क्या क्या करके पैसा कमाया, पैसा तो कमाई करता है. Somebody takes the right route, somebody takes some route. So many routes are there anyway to collect, not to make money. Yeah. So if that money is not used in service of Krishna, then the person who is taken, he has to take the sin. So accepting charity may be looking like very easy thing, but then how to use the charity is very important. So Brahmana is allowed. In fact, once Gaur Kishore Das Baba, our previous Acharya, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he got 1 rupee. 1 rupee means not today's 1 rupee. It's British 1 rupee. Somebody gave him charity and he was very concerned how to use it in service of Krishna. So he came actually to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Babaji, you keep this and you use it, Therefore, I'm concerned, I may not be, you know how to use it. By the way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a Grahastha. He is Babaji. And still he said that, aap rakho, aap use karo. So, that is the seriousness of accepting charity. Prabhupada made a program in Krishna consciousness. We have so many ways of accepting charity. Different campaigns keep coming. Vidyadhan, Annadhan, Makara Sankranti, Ram Mandir, वो तो आते रहता है, one after another. But the same rule applies actually. What is being collected, it has to be engaged in service of Krishna. If it is not engaged, we take that responsibility actually. The leader has to take the responsibility to make sure that what is being raised is used in service of Krishna. Otherwise, same thing applies. It's not that हम लोग डिवोटी बन गए हैं, हमको कुछ applicable नहीं है. Law of karma is we are above the jurisdiction. Sorry, you are not above. Nobody is above the jurisdiction. Nobody is above jurisdiction. Everybody is under. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, then at the elderly stage, when he was sick, he said that no, my devotees are not following the regulative principles. Prabhupada is pure devotee. He can burn away any sinful activity also. No. But still, it is not that just taken for granted. Nothing is taken for granted. Huh? So, if it is applicable for Prabhupada, what to speak of other devotees in Krishna consciousness? So, the law of karma is very stringent. You can't just fool around. You can fool around people. Law of karma, no. So, this, coming back, this Kushival and Kumati, two Brahmana couple, husband and wife, they are very greedy. They used to collect charity and then save it. A Brahmana quality is that you go and collect it and you don't worry about having a bank balance and make sure that next 1 year how everything will be taken care. depending on Krishna is the basic ingredient. If you have to depend on yourself, what is then Krishna become jobless, you know. ठीक है, वो तो देखभाल कर रहा है, वो देखने दो. If you want Krishna to be in your plan of your scheme of things, then you have to depend on. If you depend on Krishna, your mother takes care of the child which is depending on her. छोटा बच्चा है, all the time mother का पीछे है, तो she is more concerned about. Grown up child going around and playing, she is not very much concerned where he will be playing. वो तो गया भाग, ठीक है, किधर है, वो खेलने के लिए गया. She is not worried about what he is playing, how he is playing. Same है, child is child. Grown up on your own, ठीक है, on your own, ठीक है. The child is always depending. You take care. So a devotee depends on Krishna, then Krishna thinks that I have to take care of him, what to do. There are so many instances where Krishna personally interacts. So, this Brahmana couple, they were very greedy. And they were saving a lot of money. And after they died, they became Brahma Rakshas. And they became Brahma Rakshasas, and they were wandering everywhere. Not one place to stay. Like Parivraga, Acharya nahi. Going to different places, not one place to stay. Hare Krishna. And they are wandering everywhere, hunger and thirst. Actually, being a ghost is a suffering. Means the ghost does not have a physical body, but it has got all the desires to enjoy as if the physical body is there. Desire is there. When ghost is seeing so many people are eating, अरे हमको भी खाना है, कैसा खाएगा? हाथ नहीं है, मुंह नहीं है, खा नहीं सकता. So when ghost is seeing so many other things happening, they cannot engage in any activity. They can only have desire. And then when they want to actually fulfill the desire, they can enter into another person's body. Haunting. So the person is impure. Not it can enter into anybody's body. If you are clean, ghosts cannot enter. Unclean, they enter. कंटीमाला पहना है, जब कर रहा है, चार अगले में ghost भी enter नहीं है. बाहर से कुछ करेगा, अंदर नहीं आएगा. But then unclean people, regular people are broken and they are lying, ghost under ghost. Then what desire into the ghost has, it gets fulfilled through that body. खाने का है, उसको hey खाओ, लेके आओ. There are cases, the fellow may be very weak and थोड़ा थोड़ा खाता रहता है. Ghost आ गया, hey लाओ, प्लेट भर के खाए. इतना खाता है कैसा? Ghost खाता है. Ghost is fulfilling the desire of eating through this person. The ghost buster will come and say कुछ करके उसको भगाएगा. फिर नॉर्मल आ जाए, फिर बोलेगा अरे इतना नहीं खाने का, अरे इतना खाए इतना दिन, ये तो मालूम नहीं. मैं किधर खाएगा? They not even know actually. So this ghost, they were suffering so much, they were wandering everywhere, and somewhere they stay here and there. And one day they came and stayed under this palm tree, the Brahma Rakshasa palm tree. They came under the tree. So this is a Brahmana from previous life and as a tree. And these are two, Brahmana and Brahmani became ghost. Association, Brahmanical association. So this wife, ghost. See, ghost बनने के बाद husband wife. तो देखो, no separation, even becoming a ghost. वो छोड़ा नहीं, तुम जाओ करके नहीं बोला, फिर भी साथ साथ में रहा. Maybe they are waiting for 7 lifetimes. So this wife ghost was asking, "Arey, हम लोग, we are suffering so much. How to get free from this being a Brahma Rakshasa? कैसा मुक्ति मिलेगा? Suffering. Mukti means no, you are free from the suffering. No. So much suffering we are doing. So when will we get, free from this? Because husband and wife, तो उनका हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ दोनों पैर मिलेगा तो अंदर जा सकता है, तो वो भी दूसरा का बॉडी में भी घुस नहीं सकता है, एक ही तो घुस सकता है, तो छोड़ना नहीं चाहता है, तो सफरिंग मोर. And the wife was asking how to get free. And then the husband ghost was telling, only by getting the knowledge of Brahman, absolute truth, the knowledge of the self, Atma Gyan, Brahma Gyan, Atma Gyan, and the knowledge of activities, karma. Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahman, you are told activities, devotional service, karma. Ordinary fellow will do so many other karma. Activity of the soul with the super soul, what karma? It's a devotional service. So understanding devotional service. If you can understand this, without this, it is not possible to get rid of the sinful activities, acquired sinful activity from the previous life. Upon hearing this, the wife ghost asked the husband, what Brahma, what self, and what fruity activity? Yeah, my dear Lord. Wife is addressing the husband as Lord. And they didn't speak in English, they spoke in Sanskrit. Even ghost used to know Sanskrit. तो पूछा है, किम तद ब्रह्म, व्हाट इज दैट ब्रह्म, किम अध्यात्म, किम कर्म पुरुषोत्तम. This is what the wife ghost asked. And it happens to be the half sloka of the first sloka of 8th chapter. वो 8th chapter नहीं बोला है. Husband said you should know Brahman, you should know self, you should know karma, then you can get liberated. What Brahman and what self and what karma, my dear Lord, करके पूछा, because this is the same question asked by Arjuna to Krishna. तो ये जैसा बोला, the tree Brahmana was hearing this, no? Tree क्या करेगा, जो आके बोलेगा सुनना पड़ेगा. तो ये दोनों बात करता है. And the tree was hearing. When he heard this half sloka of Bhagavad Gita, immediately he got liberated. Tree broke down. He came out. Thank you very much for telling me half sloka. Meaning, is all sinful activities were purified. So once it is purified, you come back to normal. So, by ordinary way, a tree has to become human being. It has to undergo the process of evolution in various species of life. Don't come overnight. Tree doesn't overnight becomes a human being. The trees also have consciousness, So every living entity has consciousness. So when we are chanting, we say that all the living entities get benefit. Yes, you can see. They are hearing. You can imagine the fortune of 2 trees standing in the courtyard. All programmed without faith. No other option. Actually, they can't say that we will go for something and come back. So this bale tree has become old. We have put tied that with rope. अरे भाई गिरना नहीं चाहिए, गिर जाएगा लगता है, क्योंकि it has become old. So we are extending. Live with us more time. Don't fall down. So the tree, all the living entities, they also actually, when they hear, that is why Harinama Sankirtan we are chanting. All the living entities, when they are hearing, they get benefit. We may not know actually, we may not appreciate, we may not know. But then, the fact is that they know and they appreciate. Arey bhai, acha ho gaya, Harinam Kirtan wala aaya. So this tree became actually liberated. Not only that, then the Brahmana, the tree became, Brahmana became, tree became Brahmana. And when you are seeing only these 2 Brahma Rakshasa, they also got the human form, and Vaikuntha Vimana came and picked them up. Then he was very surprised. उनको पिकअप नहीं किया क्योंकि वो सुना था, ये लोग बोला था। सुनने वाला को थोड़ा फायदा मिलता है, बोलना पड़ेगा, कल सुनते रहेगा तो क्या करना। Then what happened? He wrote down this half shloka, and all the time he was reciting half shloka. He said that now I will go to Kashi. उसको वृंदावन जाने के लिए ये नहीं था, काशी गया, इधर भी गया, ठीक है। क्या किया? उधर जाके यही श्लोक बोल रहा था, यही श्लोक हाफ श्लोक, किम तद ब्रह्म किम नद्यात्मम किम कर्म पुरुषोत्तम, हाफ श्लोक। Yes, telling. So one day Lakshmi was asking, my dear Lord, why you got up? No, नहीं, this person is all the time chanting, उसको लेके आना। Then Vaikuntha Ramana was sent to Kashi. Even you go to Kashi, Vaikuntha Ramana is required wherever you go. So in that way, this Bhavasharma Brahmana, who became degraded, became tree. In the case of Ajamil, by just chanting the holy names, no, he got the opportunity to perform devotional service. He didn't have that opportunity. He became a tree. But hearing half sloka Bhagavad Gita, he got back that original form. Then he has to perform devotional service. Ajamil went to Haridwar. This fellow, thoda impersonalism hoga. Even impersonalists, when they chant, then they get also punished. That is the glory of this chanting. Not only this Bhava Sharma, even all his ancestors also actually were liberated. When a person performs devotional service, not only the person who is performing, so his ancestors also get the benefit. So in that way, this chapter 8 is glorious, attaining the supreme. So we will recite this chapter, all the slokas. Actually, there are many ways of reciting. Everybody can recite together also, but if everybody is familiar with the meter and things like that, but then what we will do is, I don't expect everybody to be familiar. So I will recite and you follow. Three times we will chant each verse, whole chapter. After chanting the verse, maybe translation, one of you can read one by one. Each translation also will read, so that we know what it is talking about. So that is recitation today. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme. Arjuna Uvacha Kim Tad Brahma Kim Adhyatman Kim Tad Brahma Kim Adhyatman Kim Karma Purushottama Kim Karma Purushottama Adibhutam cha kim proktam Adibhutam cha kim proktam Adidaivam kim uchyate Adidaivam kim uchyate Arjuna Uvacha Kim tad brahma kim adhyatman Kim karma purushottama Adibhutam cha kim proktam Adidaivam kim uchyate Arjuna Uvacha Kim tad brahma kim adhyatman Kim karma purushottama Adibhutam cha kim proktam Adidaivam kim uchyate. Translation, can read translation?
Arjuna inquired, O my lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the self? What are fruitive activities? What is the material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this for me.
Verse number 2. Adiyajñakatam kotra Esmi Madhusudana Tam Yatatmabihi Adiyajñakatam kotra Esmi Madhusudana Tam Yatatmabihi Adiyajñakatam kotra Esmi Madhusudana Tam Yosi Nigatatmabihi
Who is the Lord of sacrifice? And how does he live in the body? O Madhusudan, and how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death?
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhodyatmanam Uchyate Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaro Visharga Karma Samjitaha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhodyatman Uchyate Bhavodbhavakaro Visarga Karma Samjitaha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhodyatman Uchyate Bhavodbhavakaro Visarga Karma Samjitaha.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, constant living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self. Action pertaining to the development of the material body of the living entity is called karma, or fruitative activity.
In this verse only, Lord Krishna is explaining about the question that he has asked. What is Brahman? Indestructible, transcendental, living, indestructible, transcending in the Brahman, supreme absolute truth. And his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self. Part and parcel. The self is the part and parcel. Action pertaining to development of material bodies of living entities is called karma, the fruitive activities. And the fruitive activities, when they are engaged in service of Krishna, become karma yoga. First he's talking about karma, then he'll come to yoga, bhakti. So the whole chapter then elaborates on this. First explain this and then elaborate. 4. Adibhutam ksharo bhavaha Sasyadidaivatam Adiyajyo Devatra Deha Deha Bhritambara Adibhutam ksharo bhava Sasyadidaivatam Adiyajyoham Devatra Dehe Deha Bhritambara Adibhutam ksharo bhava पुरुषश्चादिदैवतम्
पुरुषादिदैवतम्
यज्ञोऽहं देवात्र
अधियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र
देहे देहभृताम्बर
देहे देहामितामगा
Translation. O best of the complete beings, the physical nature is constantly changing, is called Adi Bhuta, the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and moon, is called Adi Deva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the super soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Adi Yajna, the Lord of sacrifice.
Text number 5. Antakale cha mam eva
अन्धकाले च देवा
pakalevaram bhavam
समभावम्
नास्ति अत्र संशयः च माम् एव pakalevaram samudbhavam नास्त्यत्र संशयः अन्तकाले च माम् एव pakalevaram samudbhavam याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः.
Translation. And whoever at the end of his life quits this body remembering me alone at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Verse number 6. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam yajati antakalevaram ya tadbhava bhavidah yam yam vapi smaran bhavam yajati antakalevaram bhava bhavidah yam yam vapi smaran bhavam yajati antakalevaram bhava bhavidah.
Translation. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail.
Very, very important sloka. One should remember this sloka to remember Krishna. This is the ultimate aim one should aspire for. How to the whole life is in preparation of doing this. Preparation. So what do you remember throughout? Only you'll remember, not that you are going to remember anything special. So this is the basis for a person preparing devotional service to remember all the time, remembering Krishna, so that he remembers all the time death. Verse number 7. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha buddhe mame vaishyasa samsayah. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha buddhe samsayah. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu Marayudhya cha Niyantitamano buddhe Shasa samsaya.
Translation. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
See what karma करके पूछा है. So karma is prescribed duty. Swadharma. Swadharma is prescribed duty. And Krishna makes sure that in between tell that you should fight.
Don't forget that.
Oh, objective. So the objective should be reminded in between. So he's asking about karma. He's telling you should do your karma, but you remember me at that fight. Huh? So you fight by remembering me. Fighting and remembering me, you are actually engaging in yoga practice. You are connected to me. So because you are connected to me, you will achieve me. So very nicely, Krishna is inserting that. Don't listen all these things at the end. सब ठीक है. मैं अभी जा रहा हूँ हिमालय पर तो क्या फायदा होगा? Mayavadis, they do that. They hear this and then they say that you be free from all the attachment to anything. So he is reminding, Yuddha, Nusmara. Verse number 8. Abhyasa yoga yuktena gamina param purusham divyam yati patanu chintayam. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasatanya gamina paramam purusham divyam yati patanu chintayan. Abhyasa yoga yuktena sanyanya gamina paramam purusham divyam yati patanu chintayan. Next.
He who meditates on me and strictly personality of Godhead, his mind constantly retains in remembering me, on the immediate from the path. He and Partha is seen to reach Dharma.
We are reading from chapter number 8, text 9, Bhagavad Gita. Link is there. 9th verse. Kavim paramam anusasitaram anuyam samanusmaretyah sarvasya dataramachintya rupam varnam tamasa parasta Kavim puranam anusasitaram anoraniyam samanusmaredya sadataramachintya rupam varnam tamasa parasta Puranam manusasitaram Oraniyam samanusmaretya सदातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसा परस्तात्
Translation. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, and he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is unconceivable, and who is also a person. He is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material.
So here Lord Krishna describes about the Brahman. So the various qualities are described. Here the Mayavadis will take all the impersonal aspect. And the personal aspect is also there. And the person who is the Supreme Brahman is describing about, and then from that people take the impersonal aspect actually. Anusa Sitaram is controller. Controller means it has to be a personal aspect. You can't, energy cannot control. Energetic can control, energy cannot. Achintya, inconceivable. So this is very important because the Brahman with the material senses you can't conceive. Theoretically you can say it's greatest. What great, how great, can't conceive. Inconceivable. Achintya. Achintya Rupa. Verse number 10. Prayanakale manasachalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva urmadde pranam aveshya samyak sattam param purusham upayiti divyam Prayanakale manasachalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva urmadde pranam aveshya samyak satam param purusham upayiti divyam Prayanakale manasachalena yukto yoga balena chaiva urmadde pranam aveshya samyak purusham upayiti divyam.
Translation. One who at the time of death fixes his life air between the head eyebrows and by the strength of yoga with an undeviating mind engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion will certainly attain the Supreme Personality of God.
See here, the yoga practice, meditation is given. Interestingly, Krishna says, you have met upon the Purusham. Purusham cannot be impersonal. He says very specific Purusham. Purusham Upayiti Divya. Param Purusham. That also. Purushottam. So by fixing the life hair between the eyebrows and the strength of yoga, undeviating mind, engaging himself remembering the Supreme Lord, certainly attains the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Mayavadis, they have some way of other to come out of this Purusham thing. In between Purusham becomes, Mayavadis have their own idea. But then personality of Godhead is what is being mentioned. Text number 11. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Shanti Yatato Vitaraga Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Te Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe Aksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Shanti Yatatayo Vitaraga Chanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe Aksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Vishanti Yatayo Vitaraga Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe
Persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkar, and who are great sages in the renounced order, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices self-discipline. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation.
Well, Sarvadvarani Samyamya Vritti Niruddhya Cha Uddhya Para Pranam Mudhyantya Adhyatmana Param Pranam Asito Yoga Dharanam Sarvadvarani Samyamya Manobuddhi Niruddhya Cha Udhyaya Pranam Asito Yoga Dharanam Sarvadvarani Samyamya Manobuddhi Niruddhya Cha Pranam Asito Yoga Dharanam. River. You have got translation? You read?
The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart, and the right hair at the top of the head one establishes himself in yoga.
What a yoga process Krishna is explaining. Somebody wants to do. He's explaining that also. 13. Om iti ekaksharam brahma Vyaharan mamanusmaran Yaprayati tyajanteham Paramam gatim Om iti ekaksharam brahma मामनुस्मरन्
व्याकरन्मामनुस्मरन्
यत्प्रयाति त्यजन्देहम्
देहां
परमं गतिम्
देहां गतिर्
ओमिति एकाक्षरं ब्रह्म
ॐ नित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्म
मामनुस्मरन्
व्याकरन्मामनुस्मरन्
यत्प्रयाति त्यजन्देहम्
यत्प्रयाति देहां
स याति परमां गतिम्
देहां गतिर्
After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of Supreme Personality of Godhead and puts his body, he will certainly reach the supreme plan and the spiritual planets.
Mom. So Krishna says, Mom. Not telling something else. It's me. Think of me. 14. Ananyate chetasa satatam.
अनन्यचेतः सततम्
Ananyacheta satatam.
अनन्यचेतः सततम्
Nityasaha.
यो मां स्मरति नित्यशः
Tasyaham sulabha partha.
तस्याहं सुरगर्भात्
Nityayuktasya yoginaha.
युक्तस्य योगिनः
Ananyacheta satatam.
अनन्यचेतः सततम्
Yoma smarati nityasaha.
यो मां स्मरति नित्यशः
Tasyaham sulabha partha.
तस्याहं सुरगर्भात्
Nityayuktasya yoginaha.
नित्यायुक्तस्य योगिनः
Ananyacheta satatam.
अनन्यचेतः
Yoma smarati nityasaha.
यो मां स्मरति नित्यशः
Tasyaham sulabha partha.
तस्याहं सुरगर्भात्
Nityayuktasya yoginaha.
नित्यायुक्तस्य योगिनः. Translation: For one who always remembers this without deviation and easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service.
15. Mam upetyata punarjanma dukkhalayama shashvatam napnuvanti manaha samsiddhim paramam gataha. Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalayama shashvatam napnuvanti manaha samsiddhim paramam gataha. Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalayama shashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha siddhim paramam gataha.
Translation. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of misery, because they have attained the highest perfection.
Dukkhalayama shashvatam. We keep repeating. This alaya, different kind of vidyalaya. So many alayas, right? This is all put together is Dukkhalaya. All alayas are taking shelter of the Dukkhalaya. Rugnalaya, Vidyalaya. Right. 16. Abrahma bhuvanarloka Tino Arjuna Amupetya tu Kaunteya Punarjanmana vidyate Abrahma bhuvanarloka Tino Arjuna Amupetya tu Kaunteya पुनर्जन्मन विद्यते अब्रह्म भुवनार्लोक मनोवर्तिनो अर्जुन मामुपेत्यतु कौन्तेय पुनर्जन्मन विद्यते.
Translation. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are cases of misery wherein difficult birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
Very important verse. Here again Krishna says, Mam upetyatu kaunteya. You come to my planet. I don't know how you can ignore Krishna telling so many times, me, and mine, me. Huh? Even if somebody tries to go to all the way to Brahma Loka, very difficult to go by the way. Even go to heavenly planet is so difficult. What to speak of 6 stages more. Even that Krishna says, Brahma Bhonar Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Same thing happens. Here it happens fast, there it happens slow. That's all, nothing else. Mam Upatyati is telling that you come to me. Punarjanma navidyate. There is no question of again born. So he's talking about Brahma, then he talks about what is the nature of that Brahma Loka. Sagasra Yuga Paryantam. Sarya Brahmano Vidu. Atrim Yuga Sagasranta. Atravido Janaha. Sagasra Yuga Paryantam. Sarya Brahmano Vidu. Sagasra Yuga Paryantam. Sarya Brahmano Vidu.
Translation. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night.
So we always calculate Brahma's life. So here it says 1,000 Divya Yuga from just 12 hours of his life. Multiply. See 18. Avyakta sarva bhavanti yaharagame yagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta sumnake avyakta sarva bhavanti yaharagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta samyate avyakta sarva yaharagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta samyake.
Translation. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state. And thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest being.
19. Bhutagrama sa evayam भूत्वा प्रलीयते
भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते
रागमे रागमे भूतग्राम स एवायम् भूत्वा प्रलीयते रागमे पार्थ प्रभवन्तः रागमे भूतग्राम स एवायम् भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते पार्थ प्रभवन्तः रागमे
Translation. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly alienated.
Going on and on and on, repeating. How long will keep repeating? Then Paratasmastu Bhavanyo To Vyakta Sanatana Shubhuteshu Nastyastu Na Vinashyati Paratasmastu Bhavanyo Vyakto Vyakta Sanatana Sarvabhuteshu Nastyastu Na Vinashyati Paratasmastu Bhavanyo Vyakto Vyakta Sanatana Sarveshu Bhuteshu Nastetsu Na Vinashyati
Here there is a religious creation which is typically illustrated in English values. It is supreme and is never limited. And all in this world
अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इति उक्तास् तम् आहु परमं गतिम् यं प्राप्यातो निवर्तन्ते यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इति उक्तास् तम् आहु परमं गतिम् यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम व्यक्तोऽक्षर इति उक्तस् तम् आहु परमां गतिम् यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम
Translation. That which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and uninflammable, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode.
Tadhamam, the place in Brahma Jyoti is a space actually, not a place. Dhamma is place, planet. Tadhamam Paramam, my planet. Again, Krishna says personal aspect. 22. Purushaha Saparapata Labhyaistananyaya Shantastani bhutani sarvam vidam tatam Purushah saparapata Bhaktya labdaistananya Yashantastani bhutani Yena sarvam vidam tatam Purushah saparapata Bhaktya labdaistananya Yashantastani bhutani Yena sarvam vidam tatam
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him.
23 Yatra kale tana vrittim vrittim chaiva yogina kalam vakshami bharata rishabha Yatra kale svana vrittim vrittim chaiva yogina kalam vakshami bharata rishabha Yatra kale tvana vrittim vrittim chaiva yogina kalam vakshami bharata rishabha Who is it? You read?
Translation. O best of Bharata, I shall now explain to you the different times at which passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back.
Time is also important. Departure. 24. Agnir Jyotirah Sukla Uttarayanam Chanti Vidojana Nirjyotirah Sukla Uttarayanam Tatra Prayatam Gachanti Vidojana Nirjyotirah Sukla Uttarayanam Gachanti Vidojana
Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery god in the light at an auspicious moment of day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north.
Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. Now we are in Dakshinayana. Makar Sankranti Uttarayana will start. So 6 months is time of light and 6 months is time of darkness. 25. Dhumo Ratristata Krishna Asa Dakshanayani Tatra Chandram Samjyoti Yogi Prapya Nivartate Dhumo Ratristata Krishna दक्षिणायनम् तत्र चन्द्रमा संज्योते योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्ण वास दक्षिणायनम् संज्योते योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते
The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back.
शुक्ल कृष्णे गति हेते जगत शाश्वते मते तते पुनः शुक्ल कृष्णे गति हेते जगत शाश्वते मते वृत्तिम् वर्तते पुनः शुक्ल कृष्णे गति हेते शाश्वते मते एकया यातना वृत्तिम् वर्तते पुनः
Translation. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from the world, from this world. One in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns.
Twenty-seven. Naite Sriti Parthajanan Yate Kaschana Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavajuna Naite Sri Parthajanan Yati Kaschana Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavajuna Naite Sri Parthajanan Yogi Muhyati Kaschana Sarveshu Kaleshu Yukto Bhavajuna
Translation. Although the devotees know these two paths to Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, we always keep in devotion.
So this Dakshinayana, Uttarayana, these are mentioned here. So this is basically for those who are in Karma Kanda section. For devotees, this is you don't have to worry about Uttarayana, Dakshinayana. If one is fully absorbed in devotional service, the time doesn't matter actually. Dakshinayana, it is not that if it is Dakshinayana, Krishna will not send Vaikuntha Viman. वो तो विमान तो आएगा ना. It will change everything, Dakshinayana, Uttarayana, सब change हो जाएगा. So both paths are there, but then for devotees, they are not really worried what is. No. Whether it is Dakshinayana or Uttarayana, they are worried about whether they are Krishna conscious or not. So absorbed in Krishna, they don't really consider that they have to only pass during Uttarayana time.
But Prabhuji, then why did Bhishma Pitama waited for the time to change? The real devotee was seeing Krishna and in front of Krishna, and yet he was waiting for the
He's teaching different people different things.
time.
He had the option of leaving at any time. So when you'll have to know that suppose, for example, now Gita is spoken, right? From the Gita Jayanti to Uttarayan is a very So Gita, in fact, it comes up and down. This time it is because Purushottam month, no, it is late. Otherwise it is, and then 18 days has to go. So only few days are left. So it is his choice. He wrote his choice. He said, okay, I'll wait. Wait. In fact, he was actually lying down. Fact is, he wanted Krishna to come. So Krishna came, and then Pandavas also came. So then he was discussing with them. So this time went on, Then when he saw the Uttarayana came, he said, "ठीक है भाई, चलो भाई." But it was a wait for Krishna to come because Krishna knows that, I have to go. Now my devotee is going to go. So he wants to come. And Bhishma was very unhappy that, Pandavas are suffering. So when he saw that they are reinstated, so he was happy to see that. So he was waiting for that to happen also. And then final instruction is giving. Krishna wanted actually, Pandavas to hear from me. So all these things have happened. So he is not waiting for that. He was doing this. When it came, he stopped speaking that song. He said, "ठीक है भाई, इतना बोल दिया उतने." So devotee decides. 28. Vedeshu yajneshu tapashu chaiva.
Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva.
Daneshu yat punya phalam pradhishtam.
Daneshu yat punya phalam pradhishtam.
Iti tat sarvamidam viditva.
Iti tat sarvamidam viditva.
Samsthanam upayati chadyam.
Yogi Parasamudayam.
Suyagye tapashu chaiva.
Suyagye tapassu chaiva.
Punya phalam prasiddham. Iti tat sarvamidam viditva. Yogi samsthanam upayati chadyam. Suyagye tapashu chaiva. Sutat punya phalam pratistam. Iti tat sarvamidam viditva. Sthanam upayati chadyam.
Person who accepts the path of devotional service is not weary of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all this, and at the end, he achieves the supreme attainment goal.
So devotional service is the sum and substance of all the other processes. Once that is done, one achieves the final result. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. So we will also chant 4 more slokas. Chatur Shloki Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 10, text 8.
10, 8. 10.
Chapter 10, text 8.
Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 8th verse. Aham sarvasya prabhavo
Aham sarvasya prabhavo
mattah sarvam pravartate
mattah sarvam pravartate
iti matva bhajante mam
iti matva bhajante mam
buddha bhava samanvitaha.
buddha bhava samanvitah.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo
Aham sarvasya prabhavo
mattah sarvam pravartate
mattah sarvam pravartate
iti matva bhajante mam
iti matva bhajante mam
buddha bhava samanvitaha.
buddha bhava samanvitah.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo
Aham sarvasya prabhavo
mattah sarvam pravartate
mattah sarvam pravartate
iti matva bhajante mam
iti matva bhajante mam
buddha bhava samanvitaha.
Read. Who is supposed to read?
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise will perfectly know these, engage in my devotional service, and worship me with all their hearts.
So the entire Bhagavad Gita is summarized in these 4 verses. It's called Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. Like in Bhagavatam also, Chaturshloki Bhagavatam Gita. If you are not reading the entire Bhagavatam, if you read this 4 sloka, shortcut method of reading the entire Gita. So we are doing the 1 chapter, so we are done, important chapter, and this one. So here, Krishna says he is the source, establishing about Bhagavan. I am the source of everything. Aham sarvasya, sarvasya includes material and spiritual. And from me everything comes. The wise who perfectly know, engage me in my devotion. So if one knows Krishna is Supreme Lord, obviously will do devotional service, you know. If somebody is not doing devotional service, he is not convinced that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. If one is convinced, he will be engaging and with all his hearts.
Machita madgata prana Dayanta parasparam Katayantascha mam nityam Tushyanti cha ramanti cha Machita madgata prana Udayanta parasparam Katayantascha mam nityam Tushyanti cha ramanti cha Machita madgata prana Udayanta parasparam Katayantascha mam nityam Tushyanti cha ramanti cha.
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another, conversing about me.
So, what the devotees will do, Krishna says in first 2 slokas. And they know that, Krishna is the absolute truth, Supreme Personality. They engage in devotional service. And this is devotee association. When they meet, they discuss Satsanga, discuss about Krishna. And they enlighten each other. Converse. Then text number 10.
Tesham satata yuktanam Vachatam priti purvakam Dadami buddhi yogam tam Yena mamupayanti te Tesham satata yuktanam Vachatam priti purvakam Dadami buddhi yogam tam येन मामुपयन्ति ते येषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते
Translation: To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
So the buddhi yogam, intelligence to do things in such a way that you'll go back to God is given by Krishna. On our own, we can't even really, have that intelligence. Krishna gives the intelligence. Krishna is constantly serving me. If Krishna is pleased, yes, ये अपना आदमी है, दूसरा का आदमी किधर नहीं जाता है, अपना है. So Krishna gives the understanding, buddhi yogam, by means of which you can go back home, back to God.
तेषाम् एवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्तो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता तेषाम् एवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्तु ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता तेषाम् एवानुकम्पार्थम् ज्ञानजं तमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्तु ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता.
Translation: To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
So Krishna is very concerned about how to take the devotees back to God also. It's not that he doesn't notice anything. So getting out the ignorance from the heart is a very difficult task. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Cheto Darpana Maharsham. So we are supposed to chant the holy names and cleanse. But then that cleansing happens by attentive and offenseless chanting. And we are not really concerned about it, truly speaking. So then Krishna is concerned also about that. And he says that with the shining lamp of knowledge, he gives the knowledge, the darkness goes away when light comes. Jnana Deepena Bhasvata, Jnana Deepa. So he said that I bring the light of knowledge by means of which darkness is removed actually. So this is 4 verses known as Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. What the devotee is supposed to do, 2 verses, and what he will do, Krishna is telling 2 verses. And finally, devotee knows Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engage in devotional service. And while engaging also, is not able to purely engage, then Krishna helps actually by, making sure that he gets the knowledge by means of which he does devotional service in purity so that he can actually go back home to God. Gita Jayanti Maha Mahotsav ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Krishna Bhagavan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Any questions, comments? क्यों हंस रहे हैं?
क्वेश्चन पूछने के लिए भी कृष्णा इंटेलिजेंस देंगे तब
उनका ऊपर, you don't put the ball in his court. Huh? You keep the ball in your court. You should know how to play the game.
everything I can put together to ask questions, but not in that list.
In the beginning, we discussed and we said something like somebody is giving that money when I'm using it and offering it to the Lord and I'm using the money, how the karma gets cut, like the karma gets nullified. Like,
What is that?
somebody is giving that money.
He will earn the
giving
money.
it,
Okay.
he,
Okay.
earn money when
Huh.
I'm offering to the Lord, I'm using the money.
Hmm.
So how the karma gets nullified?
Because
My karma gets nullified, how it is like?
where are you? Somebody is evil-minded person has given the money for Krishna service. If it is done for Krishna service, Krishna accepts it and Krishna can burn away the evil sins.
So that other person's evil will not affect me.
Who are you in between?
After I give me money,
You, and what you did?
somebody else is giving, even means the person has earned money and he is giving me the money.
Okay.
So that money I offer to the Lord and I'm using it.
Offer to the Lord using it means that using it should be an offering. Not that samne rakh diya, fir I am using it. You, you have to use the money means you bring fruits for Krishna and offer to Krishna and then you eat also and give it to others, that's fine.
So
That is okay. That is using the money. That all understood. How to use it is the question. How using it means the entire benefit of that money should go to Krishna.
So the 10,000 I got from the BBT, I got probably the book using the 10,000. And I distribute the books. So
Okay.
So
Yes, it is taken care. So it is okay. What's the problem? You got Bhagavad Gita only. No, you said I will offer to Krishna and do something. For me, it is like you keep. Okay.
She herself continuously laughing after asking that.
So Gita marathon is still going on. Those who have distributed, some have distributed, those who have not distributed, still you have time to distribute. And new ways. Don't say that I have already done everybody's. Always new way, find out. New people you find out. Where is Naushad? Is not here. He was there last week actually. It's okay. Chalo gaya. Aja, I want to tell one thing about Nausha. See this.
I'm just saying.
Huh?